I'm taking my trampoline off to flip them around and to replace the rope. So this is that trampoline, the starboard side, and the sun broke this, but you see that the threads, they're still good, you know, they don't break when you go over it with my nails. The other side looks amazing, so I'm gonna turn them around, and then in the future, like I have to either fix it or order new ones. First one is in, let's do the other one. I just lost 2 of these in the ocean, but I went back and I got them. It's only like 5 foot deep here, like 1.5 meters. Finished. This is the gypsy from my windlass. And sometimes what happened when I'm anchoring, the chain comes off and then suddenly the chain is like lying next to it, and then it's all just half hanging there, and I'm trying to anchor in between boats, and it's kind of dangerous because I have no control anymore, because I need to try to pull the chain back to like put it back over again. So I'm gonna make something for it. You're gonna use a chopping board because it's a nice strong material, and I'm gonna cut a circle bigger than this, and I cut the center out, and then epoxy it to here, that there's like, that this is a little bigger. I think that the rounding of this candy box will work well. It's going to create a nice edge around it. And it's done. Let's see how it works in reality. The first water pump of the port tank was leaking, so I put in a new one. And then today it's time for fiberglassing again. My shower drain needs to be fixed because well, this is supposed to be closed, not supposed to be open. That's what happened in the damage. Perfect. A lot of wind. Time for repairs. The corners were cracked, so just put in 2 layers of this really thin roving matting. If I would have known where to buy a box like this, it would have probably been easier, but I don't, so we'll fix it. Now we're going to mix some epoxy hardener and silica, and then glue these 2 parts back together, and then glue it back here in shape, and I'll also add a fiberglass mat, 2 fiberglass mats over that. This is drying now. I actually didn't know that I could just buy another one on Amazon. I didn't know that they are apparently pretty standard, so this will be functional until I order a new one. I'm going to pick up my new Mantis anchor. The St. Croix Marine Center here was so nice to receive it for me. Let's pick it up. Very grateful that they were willing to receive it for me. That's it. Wow. It's quite big. Look at that beauty. And I really wanted the Mantis because it's just in the 3 years that I had Limonada 1, it just always kept me safe, and I never drug, not even once. Would have been possible to drag once because it's kind of normal very occasionally, but it just never happened. So yeah, I know, and for me it's just very important to think about safety. And you guys have been saying, like, I never do the fun things. So these are mini scuba sets. And then the biggest highlight, look at that, an anchor can opener. So with everything I do at this moment, I'm preparing for 2 things. Either to cross the Pacific and then go to Asia. That's a big plan. But also I want to prepare the boat and everything to run an occasional charter, because yeah, it's nice money. Okay, let's install this. Seems pretty easy. Take it all off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grease the bolt. Put this thing in. Number 1. Turn it around. And then number 1. Number 2. 3. And 4. Let's put a cotter pin in. Alright, that's it. By the way, this is 85 pounds, oversized for this boat, oversized anchors, makes you sleep well. The shower box is ready. I ended up putting some fairing compound over it, just to make it look a little nicer. Okay, shower box is ready again. I forgot, I still have to put a float switch in. So how it works, I'm gonna put this in now with sealant. The shower fills it up from here, and then the water level will rise, the float switch will go up, and it will activate a pump which is somewhere else, and that pump will suck it out from here. Shower box is back, and what should happen is that when the float switch activates that I just connected, this pump should start. Let's try it. Yeah, it's working. Okay, perfect. Next time when I go to the marine store, I get the lid that's supposed to go on top. Just bought a new lid. Nice. This lid was $26, and a whole new box on Amazon would have been $35. Really not sure if this whole project was worth it. Oh well, I got to practice my fiberglass skills. This water tap definitely needs to be replaced. Ew, that's gross. Getting some supplies at the Home Depot in St. Croix. I haven't been to many islands yet that are so incredibly well stocked as St. Croix. It's crazy. This is awesome. Gonna get a sticker for the boat because there is no name on the boat yet. Nice! Before putting the new water tap back in, I'm using rubbing compound to just clean that up. That's better. It's working again. I have a problem with my fitting. I bought this fitting, was the only one I could find to go from hose to pipe, because there's a pipe where it has to go to. So, and this one doesn't go very tight around it, so it must be the wrong size. Maybe American here is different than with it. Oh no! Look at that! Oh, that's not good. Oh no! There was a loose fitting apparently. Okay. Start again. Anyway, as I was saying, so now I have I made a temporary construction. I just put hose clamps around the hose, between the hose and the pipe, but that's not how I want to keep it, of course. But it's a good temporary solution. It was done like this, where this part goes in the pipe and the hose of the water tap you connect to here. You screw in here, but this is broken, or it's about to break at least, so didn't want to put this back, but what I bought is not working, so I have to go back to the store to find something that works. At least now it's temporary fixed, so I can just use it all. Just came out of the local hardware store, kind of an Ace Hardware, although they have a lot of Ace Hardware stuff. It's actually a local square. This is where I can walk to from the dinghy, and I think I found the couplings for the bathroom. Let's try it out. This is where the US Post Office is. Pretty handy. What I'm learning is you can send a lot of things to St. Croix, not everything, and sometimes you pay a little bit more, like 10 bucks extra, but it's still a lot cheaper than shipping to most other islands. Back to the sink, and it is still not good. This pipe goes in, and then you push it in, and it's supposed to be super tight, but I can just pull it out. So must be a size difference. I went back to get another coupling. Let's turn on the water. See if it works now. Yeah, that seems to work. Oh no, you gotta be kidding me. I lean against the toilet seat and the brakes off. Oh well. It's just like rusted there, you know. I'm not even gonna try to fix this. Toilet seats. Felt a bit weird to take my toilet seat to the building market, but they'll work for measuring. The new toilet seat is installed. And then toilet number 2, also a new toilet seat. Woohoo! Yay! I wanted to run the watermaker, which will be the first time for me, but what I forgot was to turn the incoming water valve open. So then the fuse kept jumping, and while trying to troubleshoot that, when I turned on the generator for the second time, I got a high temperature alarm. So now the generator overheats because there is no anti-fouling in. I don't know, maybe there must be a leak somewhere. I'm gonna top it up and I'm gonna see what's going on. So the generator off, and it smells like antifreeze here. Let's go check. Yeah, there was some fluid under it, and I sucked it all away, and there is again, so it's definitely leaking somewhere. Let's run it and try to see where the leak comes from. More often than not, it's just a hose clamp that's not tight. Well, there is some water leaking over here, and I did put a thermostat in here a while ago, so that might be it. When I took it out, the seal was just normal on top with a bit of corrosion in between. We're gonna see if I have a spare, and otherwise get material and cut one. Back at store, high temperature gasket material, that's what I need. I use the high temperature gasket to make this gasket. At the watermaker, I disconnected, it's basically 2 pumps. There is that pump, which pushes water from outside towards the big pump, and then it goes to the thing that actually, you know, separates salt water and the fresh water. So now I disconnected this one because they turn on the same time. And I'm just gonna, while I run the generator for 5 minutes to see if there's no antifreeze leak, I'm gonna see at least if that one, just that one works. And then I would have to spit out water outside here. 5 minutes, off we go. Okay. Nothing is happening. I connected both pumps separately to another outlet. This pump zooms a little. It doesn't produce pressure, and this one doesn't do anything. Okay, so good news. That was it. Generator isn't leaking anymore. I'm pumping through with a small pump some of this white stuff to try to save the membrane, because I'm gonna give up. I can't figure this out alone. I'm gonna give up on the watermaker project for now. I have crossed the Pacific as a crew member 7 or 8 years ago, and I know how incredibly more frustrating it is when things like this happen when you are in the Marquesas Islands, which is like between Panama and New Zealand, like in the middle of and it's very hard and very expensive to get stuff there. So, you know, it's kind of good that things like this happen when I'm in an area like this. Up until now, my 110 volt inverter is connected to this wire here, which I did temporarily during the build so I could use power tools that run on 110 volts, because the boat is 230 volts. Now I'm gonna cut a hole and then put one of those boxes in for 110 volts. Got it connected. Let's put it in. Okay. It's done. Let's try it out. Let's plug in blender. Oh, gotta plug it in. Yeah! Nice. If you remember from when the boat was on the hard, this was not really welded nice, so it's time to make it nicer now. And now I just mixed epoxy, hardener and micro balloons. I put 2 layers of fairing compound over it over 2 days. Sand, so fairing compound, sand, fairing compound again, and it looks nice and smooth now. And now waiting for a quiet, windy, non-rainy day, and then I'm gonna paint the top. The tank gauges are not working from the diesel tank, actually from the water tank also not. So I wanted to take it out, but before doing that I thought I'll check it with the multimeter on the ohm setting to see if the boat will be moving a little bit from left to right, if I get any reading. So I went in and I checked the wires, and I did get a reading, and more often than not it's a wire issue, especially, you know, this boat is really not that old. So I put new connections on, and now when I turn the tank gauges on, it actually does something. It says it's almost full. I did 500 miles until now, from Grenada, from Caracoot, South Grenada, up to Martinique, Guadeloupe, Dominica, and to here. And I did motor a part of that, but this boat does have really big diesel tanks, and often when the meter only really starts running when it's like 70% empty anyway. So it is likely that that was the fix. That'd be nice. I like those fixes. They're simple and easy. It kind of cannot be the meter in the tank, because the ohm did read something. So alright, I guess we're gonna figure it out. All of this here is still from the boat jobs that we did on the Heart. I'm just gonna put everything here to sort it out and tidy it a bit up. Already put 2 boxes here. Let's see how I'm gonna order and clean up this mess. This part is ready for stuff to go back in. What you see on the end there used to be a plate with sealant around it. Had to cut it out and actually break it a little to get it out, because there were bolts under it for the seats that are on top. The seats, those seats. Otherwise couldn't reach it. That's yeah, so it's a watertight compartment, and if you get an impact above the waterline, it means that if water comes in from above the waterline, it doesn't immediately come in. It's separated below the waterline and above the waterline. This is going on my list for next hurricane season. The weather's not helping with my cleaning day, but I'm getting there. I was able to pack it away so nice in the cockpit lockers. The space is basically empty. That's looking better. This is the number 1 and 4 place to go from TripAdvisor. So it must be the place to go in St. Croix. So this is what happens when my friend Justin takes me for an adventure.
He's using both hands right now. Hey, hold on, stop. Go back. Oh, that one might not need coconut oil.
This is the literal meaning of the road less traveled. It is tempting to stay here very long and make everything perfect, but I also have learned in the past that if you stay at a place very long, make everything perfect, then the first thing that you originally started on, by the time you finish, that first thing is starting to break again. Because that's the nature of boats. And it's cruising season now. I need to go, I need to test out the boat, I need to get to know the boat. And for less important projects, I can do them in the next hurricane season. Nevertheless, there are a couple of things I still want to do that I value for safety on a boat, and more of that you'll see in the next video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week. And special thanks to all of the patrons who are a very big help in making these videos possible. The upper tier patrons are on the wall of the boat. See you next week, guys.